because the wind picked up and it did come down 1 degree from the time. But I got a sweaty hat. I got splash, which is sweaty ass. Oh, I got my new shoes. I got balance.
What do they say?
So they say Joy Rich. Me and Jedi Rich are matching. He can film his tune after mine.
The autumn wind is a pirate, blustering in from sea. With a rollicking song he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
This is your president speaking. And I approve this message.
Vegas Raiders, just win, baby. We are the Vegas Raiders, just win, baby. Don't need no invitation. We are that Raider Nation. We rock that black and silver. We make them shake and shiver. We make them reconsider. And we still committed. So if you wanna be sinners, you can come and get it. Vegas Raiders, just win, baby. We are the Vegas Raiders, just win, baby. Don't need no invitation. We are that Raider Nation. We rock that black and silver. We make them shake and shiver. We make them reconsider. And we
Should I start with push-ups?
so if you wanna be sinners,
Should I just do that second?
touchdown, touchdown. Let's throw a ball down
Actually,
first down. Let's
I'll
throw a
just
ball
sit out
down
here.
every down.
I'll
First we
just sit out
score,
here.
then we clown.
That's what it is.
Having fun, look around. Nobody loud as a Raider
Yeah, I'll just
crowd.
stay out here.
Nobody
Sorry.
loud as a Raider crowd. NFL,
Okay,
right now.
can
We
you
gon'
bring my
move
phone
this
out here in
Vegas
another
style. Action,
arrowhead,
Jackson hit the
and
goal.
I'll sit out here.
Over, goal line, jumping over, goal face, lose soul, lose your mind in a black hole. Here's your goal, super roll, every year get that goal. Don't need no invitation. We are that Raider Nation. We rock that black and silver. We make them shake and shiver. We make them reconsider. And we still committed. So if you wanna be sinners, you can come and get it. Vegas Raiders, just win, baby. We are the Vegas Raiders, just win, baby. Al Davis, John Madden, Greg Papa, and Derek Madden. He's Pirate, Ken Sailor, always will be a Vegas Raider. Orange Ale, Gene Upshaw, Jack Tatum, True Outlaw, Saddest Fred, Belitnikov, Lesnar Hayes, Biggie Young, Brown Brothers, Billy and Tim, Funkin' Otto, y'all know Jim, y'all know Lyle, y'all know Ted, Accent, put you to bed, Dave Tapper, Cliff Brand, Tom Ford, Nicky Ken, George Fonda, Howie Long, Marcus Allen, come back home. Vegas Raiders, just win, baby. We are the Vegas Raiders, just win, baby. Don't need no invitation. We are that Raider Nation. We rock that black and silver. We make them shake and shiver. We make them reconsider. And we still committed. So if you wanna be sinners, you can come and get it.
Yeah, you're live.
Yay, everybody! I think I was gonna start with push-ups before I tire myself out with nunchucks. Okay, this is the first time I've worked out in a long time, as you all know. I was drinking for 2 weeks in Manhattan. I did not do any sort of exercise other than walking, I think. That's about it. And my job, but you know. Standing there, neither here nor there. Okay, I'm gonna, don't even laugh. Don't even laugh, but don't even tell me you're laughing, because I know you're all laughing. It's obvious. I have not done these. Ugh. I'm scared to even do it. I was gonna like test do them, but then I'm like, no, I'll be more tired. Better just, this is my first attempt after drinking for 2 weeks. So let's go. Let's try this. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. You guys, I can barely do it. Oh my god. Those are like the worst push-ups ever. I can barely do 20. You almost cheated last one. Oh, that was tough. Yeah. Don't drink for 2 weeks. And try to work out. Whew. That's tough. Okay, hold on. Where are my nunchucks? Whew. Oh, that was hard. I'm embarrassed how hard that was. Let's do 20. I feel it was a good burn in my arms though. Let's see how long I can do these for now. Get out of shape fast. Not that I was in the best of shape before I left. I was in like semi-okay shape. And then now, not at all. All right, here we go. Okay. Like I'm really gonna hurt myself today with these. So not nearly as cool. I'm like a whack because you have to be really coordinated to do these. And I don't know if you guys know, like my hands have been shaking every day because I become an alcoholic really fast. So I haven't drank in 4 days, but my hands still shake a little bit. So I'm not very coordinated, and I don't have as good a balance right now. Like equilibrium's really off. I'm very addicted to alcohol, so when I drink it deteriorates me fast. 2 weeks, I'm like shaky if I stop drinking. Oh, I gotta tell you guys about my first night. Whew. Horrible. I got home. Oh. Okay, I think I'm good on that. My arms are too like shaky. Alright. I think I'm gonna try to sit out here, but I think I might go inside. Whew. I'm gonna have to go inside. It's too hot out here. Oops. It's too hot considering that I'm just not like my full self. Sorry guys. Hold on, we'll go outside. I have to go inside, I just can't. It's too much. So I'm not like fully back to normal. We're going inside. I wanna drop my phone. Gloria was napping because they went dancing. That's nice. Yeah, it's too hot out there because I'm not really up to full par yet, you know. If that's even the right term. Whatever the word is. Okay. Let me brush my hair real quick since I'm a mess from being out there. I about killed myself doing 20 push-ups. That's pretty bad. Oh, got some work to do. All right. Here we go.
All right.
Let me sit down here. Whew. I pull up my shoes, good Cappy. Yeah, it is just a little bit like, it was fine if I wasn't exercising out there because it's not as hot as it is some days. There's summer here, it's like a little bit of a nicer day. But, excuse me. But after working out, it's like too hot for me. Because I kind of overheat a bit, like when I first stopped drinking. Oh my gosh, you guys, so... As you guys saw, my drunken karaoke. Oh my god. I barely made it to my flight. And that really scared me. So when I got home, I had told Richard to make sure he had like some apple ciders for me, just in case I needed it. Because sometimes when I get home, I get really like ill. And when I got home, I was like, no, I'm just not gonna drink. Like after, because I'll tell you guys my flight thing. But I was like, no. And I'd already said I didn't want to drink in Vegas. Like I'd kind of said like, that was kind of, why did that stop? It's kind of my thing. I didn't, sorry, my music stopped. Oh, these darn things. I'm trying to connect to every other device. Richard is connecting to my, nah. My headphones are connecting to you over there.
Oh, okay.
Here, just put them away. I don't need the music. Can you just put them in their little case over there? I don't want to lose them. It's over there, the little purple one. Those are my new ones. But problem is all of our phones are all, they're all kind of like connected to each other. So the thing will keep trying to connect whenever someone walks around to other people's devices. But anyways, so yeah, I did that. Oh yeah, so I come home and I tell Richard I just don't want to drink, and I just don't want to drink in Vegas. I don't know what'll happen when I go back to New York, but I just want to have the solid rule I don't drink in Vegas because it just always goes south for me, and it's just. So when I got home, I just toughed through it, and I'll tell you guys all about that. I have so many stories that have happened in the last couple of days. But let's get back to New York. So I'm in New York, and it's my last day, and I only have a couple hours before my flight. I'm like, oh, I'll just have a beer or two. It wasn't even a cider. It was these stupid beers. I'd given up on ciders. They're too sugary, and I don't even like beer, but, you know, I've become quite an alcoholic fast. But then I'm really happy because in 3 days, like, I bounced back. So I'm like, okay, it wasn't nearly as bad as I thought, but I will tell you guys, it was crazy towards the end there. So I decided to start drinking that morning, and because I was all packed up, and I was doing karaoke. Oh, just embarrassingly. And then I knew that I needed to get on the LIR, the Long Island Railroad, to go to the air train, to then get on my plane, you know, home. And my plane wasn't till like 4 p.m. or something. And so this is, you know, pretty early in the morning. I'm like doing karaoke, you know. But then I started to get more and more tired, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to leave. So I leave my hotel a little bit earlier because I checkout wasn't till like noon. I think I left around like 11 something because I was like getting tired. So I get to the LIR, and I'm like, okay, stay awake, don't fall asleep. Well, I fell asleep on the LIR. And I had paid, you pay for like a certain amount of stops. So I had paid for the stop that I wanted to be at. And the guy comes around to collect more money. And I was like, wait, where am I? And he told me, oh, you're like 9 stops past that one. I was like, oh dear. So then at that point I was just like, oh no. So I get back. I'm still really early enough because I go to the airport like super early. So I'm still like probably like, you know, I was gonna be there like 3.5 hours early. So now I'm getting closer to like 2.5 hours, you know. So I get to the airport, I'm like at 2 hours early, and I think that's plenty of time. Oh, not this day. This day was the worst security thing I've ever been through. And I thought it was supposed to get easier now that we don't remove our shoes. But they made me remove my shoes too, which I'll get to. But I waited for like an hour and 45 minutes to go through security. And everyone was bitching. I mean, it was the most insane thing. And then so I finally get through, because we're just waiting to see the guy where you give him your ID, you know, and then he says, go next, and then you put your stuff in the bins and send it on through, you know. So we're waiting in that part for like an hour and 45 minutes, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's getting closer to my flight. This is why I like being here earlier, but I fell asleep on the train, and I'm such an idiot, because I was going to be there like really early. And then, so now I finally I'm going through, and like no one's taking off their shoes, and I go through, and the lady goes, oh, ma'am, you need to go back through and take your shoes off. And I was like, just me? Yeah, you can go take your shoes off and run them through the thing. All right, I mean, maybe because they had like a heel to them, you know, because they were like messy, but I was just like, I'm the only one that, like, in the whole airport that has to take their shoes off.
The security guard had a foot fetish.
Yeah, and I was like, fine. So then I go do it, but now I'm still, like, worried. So this just, now I have to get back in the line, too, because it's, like, a long line. So I'm like, you're for real. Like, okay. She said, yeah, you got to go back to where the bins are, get a bin, put it back through the thing, you know, and then get back in the line again. And I'm just like, great. And so now I know that, like, my terminal is, like, super far to where my gate. is super far. Not my terminal. You're in the one terminal, but my gate is super far. And I'm like, oh dear, like this is the first time I've ever been like that close. Because if anyone that knows me, Richard knows, like I insist on getting to the airport like an insanely early amount of time because I always fear of something like this happening. And these things like rarely ever occur. And also I've ever flown, except for this time that I got there only 2 hours early, which is kind of what they say to get there. And so I'm getting there and I'm kind of like not running because, you know, you don't really want to be running, but, you know, booking it through the airport, you know, dodging people, you know, but everyone moves pretty quick in New York. So
Were they being nice?
oh no one was being nice at all. I mean, the other patrons were being nice, but the security people were just rude as could be. I think it turned out something was wrong with their system. What was causing the delay? Like they couldn't take photos at some point anymore because, you know, they're supposed to snapshot your photo and everything was glitching. Because as you got closer, like I was like yelling at the computer.
You look much better, Joy. I hope you stick with this sober living.
Okay, well I'll get into that. But anyways, so I get sent back on through, and now I'm trying to get to my gate, and I get to my gate, and they're like already boarding, but luckily like I was like the last group to board, which it wouldn't matter. I mean, as long as they're still boarding. But I was like, I've never been that close. It was like really close, so that scared me. So when I got home, I was just like, I don't want to drink.
She loved them, Kay Adams.
What was it? Oh, those lidocaine. Yeah, those were really nice. Yeah,
Those are so helpful.
yeah, they're very helpful. Yeah, I put on those when I got home. Those are very nice. I brought some to New York too. But anyways, they're knee patches. But so I've decided 100% I don't ever in my life want to drink in Vegas or anywhere except for the only place I'd ever consider is New York. And so I don't want to drink there, but if I do drink there, it's going to, that's like the only place I'm allowing myself to have that space.
You don't want to drink, but if you do
I do. Yeah, but no more anywhere else. And so then that just creates, most of my life I'm sober. And then if there's occasional, 2 weeks I go a little wacky, and it's not going to be forever. People are like, oh, you can, like, I don't plan on going to New York for much longer. You know what I mean? So it's going to be like, it is what it is. And then after that, once I don't ever leave Vegas, like I don't like to drink in Vegas. Most people come here to drink. We've never liked drinking in Vegas. It's really weird. We've always gotten sober in Vegas. Vegas is for us something different than it is for other people. I don't know why. Most people come here to get wasted. But something about being in the sun and everything for me, Rich, is always just like, I don't know, made us like when you're places where it's like cold and dreary, you tend to want to hole up inside and drink alcohol or, whatever your vice is. Whereas when it's nice out, you want to be like, out and about. So we've always felt more into nature and stuff when we've been here. And then in New York, we wanted to be, but sometimes it's just so cold you don't want to go outside. And so you do get like stuck, and we lived in hotels, you get really stuck where you feel like you're kind of caged in whatever, maybe you even have a condo, but they're usually not huge in New York. So there's sometimes it's wonderful being in New York, and there's other times you really feel like you're kind of like caged up in whatever little domicile you have. But they're usually pretty small in New York, and it's just too cold to go outside. It's almost too cold to even open your window, So, but then there's times that it's amazing being in New York. But what I like to tell people is I love going for the 2 weeks, but much longer than that, I would be done with it because living there a year was too much for us. I mean, I loved it, but I didn't love it at the same token too. I remember in the beginning wanting to take photos of everything, and towards the end just being like, can we just get back to our room? It's too cold or whatever. Especially January, February, and March, and even into April are just like drearily cold. But I am enjoying going to New York. I'm embracing that this is just a journey in my life, that it's just a stage in my life too. It won't be for very much longer. So I'm actually just like, you know what? It is what it is when I go to New York. But it's important for me to be sober the majority
yourself.
of my life, because I don't actually like being in that state for very long. But there is something that's like when I'm there, I don't know, I'm like, and I have fun, but I wouldn't be able to, I wouldn't want to, nor could I live that way very long because I get very ill very quickly. When I got back, I was pretty sick too. It was another reason why I just didn't desire to drink anymore. I was very proud of myself because Richard had he'd even bought me like 2 options in case I wanted something less sugary. And I was like, please just return them. And it wasn't, I'd asked him to get that. So it wasn't like was enticing me. Like I said, even on the way home, I said, please, and then when I was on the plane. And then by the time I
truly-
got to Vegas, I was like, you know what? I just want to just be done with this. And, I'll cross that road next time I go to Manhattan. But for Vegas, I just don't want it to even cross over. I want it to be, it's almost like two separate lives I have going on right now. And eventually they'll merge together where I won't be going to New York anymore by myself. And, I prefer a more mellow life. But for right now, I'm kind of embracing that I get to go do whatever I want for a minute in New York, I mean, to some extent. I mean, whatever I want is pretty minimal. For most of me, it's like, oh, go and get a drink somewhere, or something, But I am not the most exciting person, actually. So I think going to New York gives me a little bit more variety in my life because I'm very OCD and I like things just like to stay the same and not change. So I think the universe kind of just shaking me up to be like, go do something crazy and different, but while you're, hey, thank you, Trigger Man. Do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight, get down tonight. Do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight, get down tonight. I'm not gonna get into that, Trigger Man. So thank you for the $1.99, but I'm not gonna get into that kind of stuff. But anyways, I really am just trying to like embrace that my life is very different than most. But like even like Rich was talking about, he's very soon gonna start kind of probably getting a more serious job and stuff, and it's like, but then our life's gonna be just like the same as everyone else's, you know what I mean? And that's fine, in the time being. But right now I don't want that. Like I like that it's different and interesting, and yeah, I embarrass myself sometimes doing drunk karaoke, but at least I'm in a hotel in Manhattan. I mean, life could be worse, you know what I mean?
You're definitely very interesting.
And but I'm not that interesting if per my choice. I'll just like sit here and be like, let me eat my beef burgers all day and drink water and like watch a Mets game and clean and do laundry and stuff. You know what I mean? That's like cool. Where Rich actually gets me out to explore. Like I would have never even gone to New York if Richard hadn't like kept saying we should, and I wanted to my whole life, but I was like, no, it's fine, we don't need to. And I wanted to my whole life, and now I'm like, I can't believe if I had never experienced New York, you know what I mean? So I know we have a tendency to not want to do things that seem scary or whatever, but the coolest thing that came out of like me being like scared about my flight is that I didn't miss my flight. That's the beautiful thing is I was pretty drunk and I didn't miss my flight because the universe like still got me there, and you know what I mean? And if you're doing like the right thing, it'll work out. If you're doing the wrong thing all the time, yeah, then you're gonna hit it. But like I wasn't doing the wrong thing by having 2 drinks in the morning. It wasn't a smart thing. But it wasn't something that I wasn't allowed to do. It wasn't something that was illegal. It wasn't something that, I mean? It was something I could buy at the store for $2 or $3. You know what I mean? It was things that I was allowed to do, but I just pushed it a little bit. But they knew Joy didn't mean to push it, so we're going to make sure she gets to her flight, even if it's just like give her a little kick in the butt to don't drink when you get home kind of thing.
Fill in for those who don't know what you
The
mean.
universe, so the force. We're Jedi, we don't believe in the force. So whether you believe in God, whether you believe it's your dead relatives, whether you believe it's ghosts, whether you believe it's some other gods, whether you believe it's multiple gods, whether you don't believe in anything, but whatever keeps the universe together to where we all don't collide into each other and everyone doesn't just die every day, or or we all get in massive car accidents every day. I mean, some car accidents happen because some people won't respect, the force in the sense they try to go too fast and hit others. But there's a general thing that like the universe keeps everyone alive till you're not supposed to be alive. That's why people fear death. I'm like, why? Because it's going to happen when you're supposed to die, not before. And I might get hurt. Well, you've never been hurt before? I mean, I've been hurt a lot. You get over it. I mean, just what I was going to talk about. So when I got home, I decided I was just going to kick it the night I got home. I'm not going to drink because it's just going to delay it. Because I knew I wasn't going to drink once I got home. That's like, I don't want to be a drinker. But when I'm in New York, for whatever reason, I like drinking. But at home, I don't. And so take that as you may. I don't know. It's like my business thing. I go in there and you have to, wine and dine people. But then at home, it's just not the lifestyle I want to live. So, and long doses, I probably would die from alcohol if I, but in this tiny little tidbits, I get a good taste of why I don't want to continue drinking. But anyways, but what happened when I got home is I got these really bad like Charlie horses in my leg. You know, like have you ever got like a Charlie horse where but they like lasted for like an hour. Oh my God, it was so painful. And I was like, and Richard's like, what can I do to help? I was like, I don't know. It just hurts. Like it was like the worst, like but both legs. And I was like, oh, this alcohol stuff. It just does weird stuff. I mean, it's not healthy for you. If you're a regular drinker, I definitely recommend to try to not. And I'm trying to not when I go to New York. But
Jared's here.
hey, Jared. But I don't know. New York's just New York is just a whole different ballpark. It's hard to describe. Like here, I don't even have a desire to drink. There, I can barely resist drinking. So it's just different. And my life is very different. It's very, here, you know, I just like being home. Yeah, we just got Annette some shoes and some jeans. We got her some tennis shoes and some Birkenstocks and 2 pairs of jeans. And Gloria, we got some tennis shoes too for gym. Yeah, you better check. We need to return a bunch of stuff too to Amazon, but we haven't.
Oh right, I was gonna wait to return it.
Yeah, but it's gonna be a minute. So we probably won't go tomorrow because it's Sunday. You don't want to go on the. We always wait to do things on the weekends when we could do it any day of the week because our jobs are a little more flexible in that sense. But we always end up waiting till like when everyone's going. I'm like, oh, I can't go on Saturday or Sunday because now the lines have gotten really long. It used to be you just walk right up here. It's like waiting lines every time you go to try to Amazon returns. But anywho, so yeah, I had these horrible muscle spasms, like things like Charlie horses, and so Richard gave me some magnesium. That helped a lot.
Should I get her the knockoffs or not bother with those?
I think whatever you guys find. I think it's, yeah, I think it's good. And then, excuse me.
Be running, so what's that?
Yeah, it's all good. So, the other thing was, so from sitting on the plane for so long, you know, it's not even that long, but you know, like 5 hours, and I was already tired and stuff. My butt was so sore. So I'm sitting here, I got like these muscle spasms. I got this sore butt, and I'm like, my head hurt, and I was just like, I just don't feel like, and I was like feeling sick, and I was like, I just don't feel like drinking, you know what I mean? Like, I just would rather just like get over this instead of like continuing this. So like the worse I felt, the more I didn't want to drink. So it was actually kind of good because when I got home, I just didn't feel good. Like all of it. So I'm saying like,
loves your pearls. They're such a feminine touch.
Oh yeah, I just always wear pearls. I wear them till they break, and then I have to get another pair. But
are those real?
I don't think so. I mean, it's like Amazon or something. You know, I don't think so. But anyways, the sicker I was when I got home, the more I didn't want to drink. So it kind of all worked out. So I'm like kind of glad, grateful like that maybe that I did the drunken karaoke because that kind of made me sick that morning, I think. And then by the time,
asking for help, basically.
Yeah, by the time I got home, I was like, you know, I've had my fun with the alcohol for the house that I rode next time I come to New York, but I just didn't even.
Well, you didn't want to drink in the first place.
Well, you know, it's hard. It's hard because I don't ever really want to drink, but it's really hard to describe what happens in New York. It's like it's just this energy, and then I'm like there alone, and it's something about like I'm very antisocial. So when I drink, I actually like become more friendly where I can actually go outside and stuff. Otherwise, I'll just like haul up in my room, and then I don't like the experience because then I just sit in my room waiting to work. So it's like it's this hard thing because I'm a very very antisocial, and Richard gets me kind of out of my shell a little more. But without Richard, I'll just like sit there. And then I'm like kind of like miserable because I'm just like sitting there and I won't even turn on the TV, you know, unless it's a Mets game on.
We don't have many social.
I don't know. And then I just sit there on social media or something like and just saying dumb stuff. So I find that the drinking kind of like gets me more social. And also a lot of my clients actually pay for me to go drinking with them. So there's also that aspect of it that you're paid a high dollar to drink. But I don't know, it's just different there. Like, so it's really easy here for me to be like, I'll never drink again. Like, and I can say it so solidly in Vegas. Like, I even proved it. Like, I came home and I just was like, no, I don't want any. I mean, Richard had to return it all. And I felt pretty good, like, considering, like, I went back to work, like, day 3 after getting back, which in the past, like, it took me a little bit longer to kind of like bounce back because I would be like feel too terrible or just like continue to drink and then, you know, elongate the New York thing. Ideally it'd be great if I could kind of just, you know, jam that craziness into 2 weeks and then come home and just get back on track. Or, you know, minimize the craziness there, but if it's going to happen, keep it in that little box. And that really worked this time. And maybe next time I definitely am never going to drink before my flight ever again. That was really scared me. And I have enough control. It doesn't say I can control, and that's the thing. So I am making these choices, you know, and so next time I definitely won't make that choice. I know that. And I definitely, you know, there's certain things I learned, you know, each trip.
Return alcohol? Oh, that's cool. They let us.
Oh, I asked Richard that. I was like, can you even return alcohol? And I told him to tell him if not that your wife is, you know, an alcoholic and is trying to get sober.
No, I already know they're good excuse because I used to own a store, and these things that say cider and they look like they're basically non-alcoholic, but they look
Oh, you say I didn't know it had alcohol?
My mom bought these. She had no idea. We don't drink alcohol.
Gloria did do that one time. We did return one time. She bought, it was White Claws, and we had been buying them, but then we had gotten sober, and she thought they were just regular drinks. She hadn't drank them, but she was trying to be nice, and we're like, oh no, we don't want those. And we'd only been sober for like a couple days. Even this is like 2022, poor thing. So we're like, no, she did it. They let her return them, I remember. But yeah, he had gotten me ones, the hard ciders and the some other, it was like spiked sparkling water things or something like that.
Are shrooms better?
Shrooms? I don't like shrooms. I only did those for a very short time. Someone recommended that. This is a long time ago. This is pre-pandemic and stuff for me and Rich. This is a while ago. And I didn't like it. It made me very not motivated in any sense. Like, I didn't want to do anything. I became like the most lethargic person in not a good way.
No, it was one of these things where it makes you smarter, but makes you so smart, you're like, fuck it, nothing.
No, I was like, why am I doing anything? I didn't want to go to work. I didn't want to do anything. And I was like, I don't really want to take something that just makes me like really just not want to be motivated on any level. Yeah. Where weed, you think weed, that's not the way for me with weed. Certain times, like, if I'm ready to go to sleep, you know, and if I'm doing like, you know, there's certain weeds, there's indicas, sativas, and hybrids. Hybrids is a mix of the two. But, you know, depending on which strain you're doing, some are more energizing and some are more put you to sleep. But with me, it's more just kind of my mood. So, like, if in the morning when I do weed, it more lifts me up. But in the evening when I do weed, it helps me go to sleep. And I find that's also why I struggle sleeping in New York is because I don't do weed. And not unless like someone gives me, I know when I was there, someone gave me some gummies. Nice. So I did those. And it was just like 4 of them. So I did one each day for like 4 days, which was nice. And then someone gave me a joint. But I didn't even do the joint. I gave it away, actually.
There's lots of talk about, your issue is that you don't have any hobbies. Like, you don't have any interests. But actually, you do. We didn't have to. It's like one of them was we talked about for a long time was getting you back into dancing.
Well, yeah. I mean, I have these hobbies, but while I'm going to New York, a lot of these things are like difficult. Like, I want to get into dancing, but that's like a commitment for. Also, my problem is with the hours that I work. I don't like to have something that's a set schedule commitment because that might be when I need to work, and I just don't like that. So my hobby needs to be something that I can more like pick up and do without being where I go somewhere and there's a set schedule. Does that make sense? Otherwise, I'm just not going to do it. So it has to be. So that's why it's something because I have to think of something like to entertain myself by myself kind of thing, you know, because I don't want it to be where I have to go meet someone, where I have to, you know, schedule appointments for things because my job is very it's not set hourly. It's you know, I'm on call 24/7. So I don't like when I'm stuck somewhere. And then I get a call that was a really important call, you know, and sometimes you don't get another chance for that. It's like, oh, are you available now? Nope. Okay, bye. But I'm actually, my biggest hobby right now is kind of just like going back and forth from New York because it's like I go there and I, you know, have this crazy experience and I come home and I recover and then I plan my next trip, you know what I mean? And I'm okay with that right now because it's not going to be forever. If this was forever, yeah, that wouldn't be good. And I wouldn't do that to my body forever. But I'm like, I have enough time in the sense of, like, I wouldn't do this more than like 5 years, and probably not even that long. But after that, I would never go back to New York. But probably not even that long. Probably more like a year or two, and then I'll be done going to New York. And either Vegas will be back on track, or I'll be doing something else, or Rich will be doing something else, but we've already been talking about that. So this isn't a forever thing. So that's why I'm kind of just enjoying the process right now and not being like, oh my God, this awful thing I'm doing to myself. Is more just like, yeah, it is what it is. And I know how to be super healthy, and I can make that choice. And one of these trips in New York, hopefully I'll decide to be healthy that whole trip. But I don't know till I'm there what's going to happen.
I would like to
but
see
I do
Jordan
know.
meditate.
But yeah, meditating would be cool.
Wood burning, can you get into,
Yeah, or
here's some
yoga.
ideas.
Like I could do yoga in my room.
Painting, wood burning.
Oh, I could bring like yoga in my room, in my hotel rooms. That would be kind of cool.
Nice long
Something like
stretches.
that. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not getting like mad at myself for whatever stupidity I did. It's just kind of like, it is what it is, but like also learn from it, and then definitely like have rules about it, like of like, I don't want to ever drink in Vegas again, like ever. Like I don't have any desire to here. There's just, it's a different life here. Like there's really no reason for me to drink here. We're in New York. It is a very different thing. It's hard to describe.
Yeah.
If anyone has been to both places, well, I don't know if you've lived in both places, because being to them is different than living there too. But when I go to New York, I'm basically like living there. So I'm basically like someone that's living and working. People go out and they mingle and they go out for work, and they, it's different than when you're just hanging with your family, in a retirement community. It's a different energy, and I enjoy both. But I wouldn't want to do the New York one forever. But I'm enjoying it right now. Because I am 40, so I don't have much longer. I'm not going to be some old lady out there traveling in New York anymore. So, I only have a limited amount of years that I would even consider still going to New York or even doing my job. So I'm kind of just like, you know what? Not many people get to experience this, and I get to see all these cool hotels and, see all these new places. I went to like 3 different restaurants this time, which was like my first time ever going to like a sit-down restaurant in New York City. So that was pretty cool. They were really neat. I'm not really that into spending 4 hours at a dinner, but some people are. I get bored out of my mind, but it's a nice ambiance. I went to lunch. I thought lunch would be shorter, but it was like a 4-hour lunch. I was like, okay, this is just people eat for way too long, but to each his own. But it is nice experiencing things. And I'm not someone that's into that kind of thing. Like, I would hate if Richard has taken me to some nice places, but I only let him like once or twice, and then I'm like, that's enough, because I just don't like to spend the dollar amount for what you get. You know what I mean? You're like, someone else is paying, sure, that's fine. But like, I don't know, this is not, even if like, I don't know, even if we had all the money in the world, it's still just like, I don't think it's worth the amount people pay. And people couldn't believe the checks, those were real. I didn't include all the alcohol. I was saying, there was a guy bought the bottle of wine and stuff for like $200. But the one check was like $600 something, the other one was like $400 something for lunch. Ridiculous. Not even that great to me. I was like, all right, okay. So, but to say you got to experience it, great, cool, check it off your bucket list kind of thing. And so I'm not upset that I'm going to New York. I was at first because I didn't feel like going back, because I don't know, I just am such a couch potato, sometimes. But now that I'm going, I'm kind of getting in the routine of it, of just kind of like what I'm doing right now. And the fact that I bounced back so quick this time, I'm like actually really proud of myself. Like, I did not drink in Vegas, and I don't plan on to ever. Like, I don't know. I don't even feel desire to. Like, Rich keeps thinking, oh, are you tempted? Like, I went to the store today. I was like, no, I'm just not tempted to drink here. Just really am not. Like, I felt so good to get like sober here. And now we're like back on our keto diet already and stuff. And like, things are just really like feeling smooth. And I also was pretty upset because I had like put on some weight, which is not bad when I put on weight because I'm pretty thin, but sometimes it's just not in all the spots you want it to be. And I have to look good and so I just kind of was like irritated. And the more I drank, the more like bloated I was getting. That was also, I came home, I was so bloated after those beers that morning. I was like, oh, I just felt terrible when I got home. So Richard was like rubbing my belly, rubbing my legs, rubbing my head. Like, oh, he was so helpful when I got home that night. To just like, because I was not feeling good. And honestly, he massaged me so much when I got back, like, which helped because I was in like a lot of pain of just like alcohol withdrawals cause a lot of like body pain because I don't know, messes with your nerves or whatever it does, it's poison. So when you come off it, your body, like you're in a lot of physical pain. So he was really helping me. Like I would just be like, oh, please guys, my head, please guys, my head hurts so bad, or like, please, rub my hand or something, because I would like certain things would be hurting, and I was pretty shaky for the first couple of days, so pretty crazy. But I feel great. Today is day 4, but day 3 I felt pretty great, which was yesterday. So I was really happy about that because I felt like I went pretty deep. And then I just felt like I bounced back pretty good. So, I really took the initiative to like be healthy immediately when I got back. Like I would like drink a bunch of water, and I started immediately eating my beef burgers, and some steak. I even had a little turkey yesterday. So I just have been all about the protein, and we even had some avocado. So we weren't being as rigid either, and it's just really helped me kind of bounce back quicker. But Richard has been doing most of the shopping, and he does all the cooking. Which, yeah, anyone who says that doing the cooking isn't hard work, then you don't cook much, because it's a lot of work. I mean, I used to do a lot of the cooking. Well, he started being the cook. When we first got together, Richard did all the cooking. And then for a while, I started doing it, but I was never as good as him, but I enjoyed it for a while. But he just is so much better at cooking meat than me. His burgers are like to die for. So he had made some out there because I had breakfast and he had not. He skipped breakfast and then we went and got some weed. I'll tell you guys, we got some good weed. But excuse me. That's attractive. We got some good weed. It's called what's it called? Strange Haze. Has anybody had that? It's good. And yeah, we had not had any good weed really. And so we just got some good weed. But I had breakfast with Richard, so he made his breakfast. And I was coming on blog and I saw that. I was like, oh, that looks good. I'm ready for some more burgers pretty soon. But we also have a game coming up pretty soon. Oh, the Mets game. Oh, gosh. Did I tell you guys my bet? My bet. My bet yesterday was for Lindor to get a hit, which Lindor got like 2 home runs, so he covered that. Nimmo to get a hit, he got I think a double. Soto to get a home run, which he got a home run. And for Manea to get under 6 strikeouts. So guess how many strikeouts Manea got? 7. So my bet I had, except for that one. And I even said, let's leave the pitcher off. I would have won my bet. I'm so stupid. And then we left it on there. And if I did over, I would have won the whole thing. So I had everything right except for the pitcher count. Because you have to do over or under. Was it going to be over 6 or under 6? And he was over 6. And I said under 6. But yeah, I was so irritated. But anyways, also, it was such a good game. And so going back and forth, like ping pong. And then they lost by 2. It was like 11-9. That was like a high-scoring baseball game. So we watched that, and there's another one coming on at 1. So we'll see how today pans out. But that was a really intense game, a back and forth, and we had so many home runs. I think we had 2 from Lindor, 1 from Soto, 1 from Alvarez. That was probably, I think there was 4. Maybe another one. I think it was 4. Yeah, real good game. And our pitchers have been falling apart for sure. We are really doing bad with our pitchers. That's probably why we keep losing. I guess we've lost 14 games. No, I didn't watch many Mets games in New York. I wanted to. My schedule doesn't really usually line up for it a lot of times because my schedule's so inconsistent there, and it's like I was actually pretty busy for the first like several days. I was like really, really busy, and then it kind of slowed down. But then I never kind of knew when I was gonna get a call, and then I was usually acting a fool most of the time, anyways. But I did have a really good time. It was a really good trip. I did scare myself about almost missing my flight when that was dumb. But part of that wasn't my fault in the sense of it took like an hour and 45 minutes to get through security. So a lot of people probably almost missed their flight that day. But I usually get there even earlier, so I would have not had that problem. Normal me. But I've been wanting to check in with you guys because I've actually, the first 2 days I didn't feel good at all. I barely got out of bed. I mean, I cleaned a bit, They actually did a really good job. Everybody did a good job keeping the place clean, and Richard got a lot of new additions in the kitchen and in Gloria's space. It's looking really good. It's coming together. I know it's a little bit ghetto, but we do what we can. But it's coming together, and it looks good. I was really excited to come home. I was really happy to come home. Like I couldn't have probably lasted another day in New York. I was just like, I was burnt out. That's why I fell asleep on the train. I mean, I was just like so ready, and I slept like the entire play. Oh, you know what? They keep upgrading me to then whatever is right below. They call it. I think they call it comfort or something. It's not like first class. It's business class. It's not business class like the next thing where it's like you get like a little bit bigger seat and you get like a nice cushion. But I don't know why it keeps happening, and I'm like, well. Nice, but I don't even realize they don't tell you. I didn't give me a seat assignment, and then until I got to the gate, and I was my seat assignment. I thought, they're boarding, and then she told me, and then I didn't know, and I sat down, and I was just like sitting there. What you do is you get all this extra leg space. That's what you get. Because I was looking behind me, I was like, oh, now they don't got any leg space. Look at me. Because I didn't even realize I was something special, and then I have this special nice pillow and a little bit wider chair. Nice. So it was actually a pretty nice flight, but I'm so weird. I won't ever do the headphones. I listen to my music, but then I'm watching everyone else's movies. I'm like the little lurker. I'm like, oh. So the lady next to me was watching the new Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I watched that whole movie without sound, but it didn't look like it needed sound. Yeah, I think I figure out the storyline there. But and then there was so many other movies on, but they always look at my headphones. I'm like, nah. I don't know. I won't watch a movie. It's the weirdest thing. But I'll be lurking at everyone else's movie. Oh, who's that actor? Oh, what's going on? Because you won't see everybody's TVs, But anyways, what else happened? Oh gosh, my hotel. Oh dear. Twice. So they had this water in the lobby, with a cup. I gave up after the second time. I was like, stop doing this, Joyce. So clearly I was, not always so sober when I was there. So twice I go to get water for myself. Oh, that sounds nice. After even walking. And I go get the water, and as I'm I don't know, because you're holding the thing, and as I go to pull the thing, I bump my cup, and I drop it. And I'm like, so I walk away, and I go, and then another day later, I'm like, I'm gonna try this water thing again. So I go there and I'm like, dude, I hit it again. All right, done. And I'm like, no more water in the lobby. But I didn't know what to do because I was like, the lady was just walk away. It was not that much water. It was a tiny little cup. But still, it was two times dropping the water. No more do I try to get a cup of water in the lobby. That was about that and drunk karaoke were probably my only things that I can think of, and yelling at people. So my rants, but I don't have too many crazy things that occurred, thank goodness. There wasn't any falling on my face this time, knock on wood. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully each trip I'll minimize.
You're getting very drunk.
Yeah, I feel like I'm drinking less, but then there's certain times I kind of overdo it. Like on the last day, I thought, oh, I'm leaving, so it's fine. I could, whereas I wouldn't have done that if it wasn't my last day. So there's certain times where now I know I'm not going to do that on the last day. You learn from your mistakes, But I did try to really really try to just not overdo it with things. But then I did several times, yelling at people and stuff. So I'm learning. But I did learn a lot, like, in the sense I felt really bad for, I know I kept crying and stuff, but, like, I did feel bad for being so mean and realizing, like, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be mean anymore. So there was, like, a lot of, like, epiphanies that came through the whole experience, too. So that's why it's, like, people always want to judge of, like, why would you do this? And I'm like, well, like, each time I grow stronger and I become a better person as I work through this, and even if there's moments where I slip up when I'm in New York and I do something or say something stupid, I'm, like, learning from that. Whereas, like, at home, I don't necessarily learn as much because I'm kind of just doing routine. Yeah. When you learn the most is when you're bumped out of your routine and you have to, like, oh, whoa, I don't even know how to get home this way, you know what I mean? And then you go a different, I like routine, but I don't learn as much from routine. You're kind of in auto mode. So when I go to New York, it's like, everything is different. So then I hit a bunch of speed bumps and I go the wrong way and I, maybe fall on my face a couple times. But I learned from it, and so that's why I'm kind of like starting to like a little bit treasure my time, because I know it's not going to be for very long. I know I can't do it for very long. I'm 40 years old. Definitely wouldn't be going past 45 to New York. I can't even see that as an option in my mind. And probably even younger than that.
Okay, who's going to get a hit today for the Mets?
Oh, am I going to say it out loud to everybody?
We'll do it later.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I need to do it soon, so I'll be jumping up pretty soon. But yeah, I'm just kind of like absorbing like the lessons I learned there and being like, I'm not going to learn those lessons anywhere else. And yeah, I learned a lot this trip. Like I really did. Like I really was mean to some people, and then I really felt bad about it. And I created some good relationships that I'm really bad about keeping when I get home. Like I was talking to Bethadone a lot, and I'm so bad when I get home because I'm just in a different headspace. I'm here, I'm, cleaning up bunny poo and, vacuuming, and I'm just like mom mode. So like I don't even barely touch my phone. Whereas in New York, I like sit there and I'm like a 14-year-old with my phone all day, texting everybody, and so I don't know. I it's not that I like love one and hate the other, but long term, I prefer being more grown up, but I'm glad that I get this kind of like last hurrah kind of thing, of like before I'm a real old lady kind of thing, because, I've had my moments that I, kind of was a little bit wild, but for the majority of my life, I've actually been pretty...
You're mild.
But pretty straight-laced, too, because, like I grew up very rigid, I didn't drink or do any drug or have sex or anything like that until the Air Force, and then I had sex and drank, but didn't do any sort of drug, not even weed, until after the Air Force, and then, I didn't really do that many. Alcohol was my thing, but I've been sober more of my life than I've ever drank. So it's just kind of like, well, since I'm 40 and I definitely don't want to be, going to New York past like 45, that would just, you'd be like, I'd be feeling pretty old. Just in the sense of like, it's exhausting, but it's like exhausting in a fun way. Like, but like, it's like, how many times you want to go on a roller coaster. So it's kind of like, I have my limit of like, that's enough. But I don't even think I'm going to have to go till that long. But that's what I'm saying would be like the longest I can envision that I'd even, want to go. But I think it'll probably be just like the next year or two, and then I won't go to New York probably ever again. So that's why it's like, what? Let me, take in this experience. And so like, I don't regret anything that happened, except for, there were some things that I'll make better choices next time. I mean, I shouldn't have said some things to some people, and, I shouldn't have drank right before my flight, things like that. But overall, like, the experience was an experience, and each thing I learned from, like, by me saying mean things, I realized how mean I was, and I didn't, it sucks that, those people's expense, but you know, at least now I cannot do that to more people, or, you know, live a more positive life. And then like the drinking the last day is actually what made me not want to drink when I got home, because I was like, whoa, that was kind of close joy, and you acted a fool. Like I watched my karaoke on the plane, I was like, oh my God, like, shame, you know. But I was like, well, this just means I'm gonna get sober when I get home, because this is ridiculous. And so it was like, you know, sometimes maybe doing something a little more than you wanted to makes you think about it next time, you know. And just the whole ensemble of how the trip rolled out, all I knew is by the time I got home I was like so ready to be sober, whereas I had other trips where I was almost like I want to keep drinking and like almost felt like I had to be sober. This was like I'm ready to be sober. So it was a good like new kind of feeling for me. Even Richard was shocked, because normally I kind of have to like beg for alcohol a little bit longer, and he's like, all right, but this is it. But this one I was like, no, return it. Like I don't want it. He was like, really? Like, you sure? Like, yeah, just return it. And then at some point I was like, no, get it out of here, you know, because I was like, don't let me change my mind, you know. But I didn't make him return until the next day, but I was just like, you know, don't keep it around, because the longer I maybe, you know, think about it. And so then once it was out of the house, then we still had the bottle of wine, but I don't know, I was over it, you know. It was just like, but definitely when my favorite drinks were here, I was like, let's not keep those longer than we need to, because I'm feeling really good. But like I said, you don't want to keep like dangling something in your face. So it was good. But yeah, the wine for some reason this time wasn't even a challenge. I think Rich hit it anyways, but it was sitting there for a couple of days, and it didn't even bother me. That's something I kind of just made this commitment, and I even made the commitment with those. I could have drank all of that stuff that Richard got me, like he had got it for me, because I requested it, and he was like, whatever you need, you know, to feel better when you get home. And when I looked at it, and I was just like, I don't really want to drink all that stuff. And I thought I think I even maybe grabbed a bottle, and I was like, you know, and my stomach was already upset, and I was tired, and I was achy, you know, from sitting on the plane, and from, you know, not drinking now since the morning. So I'm already probably starting to go into withdrawals, you know, because I get very heavily addicted. And so I was just, you know, I was like, you know what, gone this far, let's just continue down the path to sobriety instead of like delaying it. So it was a really good moment for me, but that night was difficult. Yeah, that first night was, I was in a lot of pain, but I wasn't saying like, oh, get me alcohol. It was more just like, oh, let's work through this, you know. Because there really was alcohol in the garage, but it wasn't that. I was like, no, I'm not going to drink right now. I'm going to get through this. And the first night was bad, and I had that cold sweats, you know, where you get that. And then the next night wasn't nearly as bad. I mean, I didn't have any pain, I don't think. I was just a little bit more uncomfortable. And then by day 3, I mean, I went to work, which was yesterday. So I was pretty surprised how quickly I bounced back. But I know I really made like a real commitment to be like back on the health train too with our diet. Can you have that on?
Sorry.
And so it was really, like, that really helped. I think like if I continue to like think, oh, let me eat a bunch of sugar or something like that, which I actually didn't do on the New York trip. The worst thing I ate was some pizza, but I didn't eat anything sugary besides the alcohol. The alcohol was the sugariest thing that I consumed there. But I ate some pizza when I was there, but that was it. Like, I didn't like go crazy on anything.
You allowed yourself to get a little chubby.
Yeah, I did. I came home and I put on a good 10 pounds,
you
know.
yourself to be like, hey man, I'm okay with that.
Right, I was feeling a little tight pants on the plane ride home.
Huge progress. I mean,
I gained about 10 pounds.
No, because it's like, yeah, I mean, if it's like whatever it takes to get through your.
But
there's a little bit of a mental disorder with the what do you call it, when you can't.
Well, that was the other thing. I got home, I was like, I need to get back in shape, because I'd gotten so out of shape. Like, I just thought I was struggling to do about 20 push-ups. Oof. I don't keep myself in any sort of shape when I drink alcohol, because it's like once I drink alcohol, I don't care about anything. I'm like, woo! I mean, I wasn't even taking care of my, washing my face and things like that. And sometimes you don't even brush your teeth after you drink. Like, I always brush my teeth after I eat, but I forget to brush my teeth after I drink. You know what I mean? And the alcohol has all that sugar. So things like that, you know, you just kind of forget some of your normal hygiene, and you forget to drink water, which I normally drink water all day, and then when I start drinking alcohol, I like don't drink any water. So it's like all these things that I normally do for my kind of like personal.
So are you ready for lunch?
hygiene. Yeah, pretty soon. Yep.
Great.
Are you ready to chat
Yeah,
for
I'll
a
take
second?
over and,
Yeah,
we'll
you
get
guys say
you
hi to
going
Rich.
right now.
He's been doing really good. I'm really proud of Rich. He actually stuck on the diet.
Pretty good.
The whole time I was gone, and he's only flexing a little bit with like a little bit of almonds and a little avocado and stuff, and that's it. You know, I did the avocado actually, for like 2 days I did avocado, and that actually helped me a little bit. But now I'm kind of over it. But that was very helpful. Kind of like I feel like I needed the extra fat to kind of soak up. Like when you drink and stuff, or when you eat bad food. More with me, it was just the drinking this time. But in the past, if I ate bad food, sometimes you have to have the fattier stuff to kind of like just. I feel like the and the high protein to kind of just soak up that stuff that's in your stomach and get that out of there. And then you have to drink a lot of water to just like flush it out. But the other thing, the TMI. But oh my gosh, this was the other reason. I forgot to tell you guys why I was in pain on the plane. I had horrible diarrhea almost the entire trip. I was in New York, and I think that was from drinking, because drinking sometimes gives me like irritable bowel, I think.
Okay, hurry up your story there.
And so by the time I got home, I'm also just like in pain about that, you know, when you're just like, like your stomach. So it was just like, all right, Joy, I think you've done enough damage for 2 weeks. So you're like, so that fixed itself right away once I stopped drinking. But it was like, like for days it had been like that, and I was just like, it would be like if you like run to the bathroom, and I was like, this is not good.
Hey, Joy, take 5 seconds
Okay.
here and do this.
Oh, I'm gonna do that.
Just leave that
The
there.
banger.
Leave that there.
But yeah, so TMI for that. But so by the time I got home, I was just in so much pain that I was like, Joy, I'm not gonna drink anymore. This is ridiculous. But TMI.
This is the new one.
Oh, there's a monkey.
This one's called the Grim Reaper. The Grim Reaper. The name's kind of sometimes. Like kind of like pornos sometimes. They're trying to make them.
Take them out. Say hi to my baby.
Yeah, you go say hi to your baby there.
I'm gonna go say hi to my Casper baby.
Say hi to your
I just had one of them bangers. I'm coughing.
I'll cook your breakfast. I'll cook your lunch.
Oh, that'd be good. Oh my gosh. Whoa. That's good. This stuff's called the Grim Reapers. Concentrate. Oh my gosh, knock me out my shorts.
Your shorts. On those shorts right there?
Little baby shorts.
On the diapers?
On the diaper. Knock me out my diapers.
Knock you out on your diapers.
Knock me out my diapers. Look at that. You want love, or you just relaxing? Or do you want some love? You want love, or you relaxing?
Domino's Pizza sucks except at 3 a.m. in the middle of the night when you're totally starving and the only people that delivers. And then you're like, oh my god, I'm so stoked you're open. Amanda, waking up. We're just waking up ourselves. I think we all are just waking up. Hi, Winnie. How are you? Oh my gosh. There was an old video where Joy was yelling at somebody named Winning, and you thought it was Winnie, and she was saying the C word repeatedly. Anyways, sometimes when I take our videos out and we put them back in, they get like age restricted or removed or something, because it's like that was I forgot about that one until it came up.
Oh no.
And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, poor Whitney. Oh my gosh. And you can't tell what she's saying. It's like, and Joy, this was back when Joy was just like, just a free for all with that word.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Anyways, it came back out age restricted after a year.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. So we learned our lesson.
You had the microphone? Can you hear me?
I think I have the microphone. I hope not. All right. Hey, Martello. Ah, jeez. Okay. Let's go do this now.
What's that one? Nearby?
All right. Let's go make lunch. Hey, buddy. We're gonna go make lunch. First, I might want to do something first. I want to, hold on. I gotta get my. I gotta trim down. I'm just too bushy right now. I'm too bushy.
I like your new goatee.
She likes my new goatee, but it's a little too bushy for me at the moment. I gotta trim it down a little bit. All right. What's the rule on facial hair in the office, BB? Are people wearing facial hair in the office these days? You know, 80s and 90s, we were still kind of like reeling back from the hippies. So, no one was too cool with facial hair back then. 2000s, maybe a little high net. But in general, I think. In general, you just kind of do it the only way you know how to do it. All right. All right, let's go make lunch now. Annette, you ready for lunch? Lunchtime. Lunchy. Lunch. Okay. You know, they updated their apps and it's real pain in the, you know what. Okay. Great. So we're going to do that there. I'm going to make another steak. That steak was so good, I'm going to do it again. So we're going to do these or what we usually eat. Beef. I'm going to make this nice steak for Annette here when this thing gets nice and hot. Organic. It looks like beef, not steak. Well, this would be the steak here, which is not organic, because organic steak is like $25 a pound. Or about $20 a pound, which sounds expensive. But when you consider that non-organic is like $16, $17 a pound for a steak, it's like not that far off. But back in the day, I mean, my point is that organic and conventional beef are getting closer in price, but they shouldn't be. But we've been paying the same price for the organic for about the same last 10 years since we've been, or however long we've been doing it, since the last 8 years, whatever we've been doing all organics. I forget. When did we start the organics? We're gonna wait till this gets nice and hot here. Yeah, I reuse my grease. This is grease from 2 hours ago. I made my breakfast with it. It was and I use bacon grease because bacon grease I find to be healthier. It's my opinion. This is my information only. It's not. This isn't scientifically proven, but I believe that bacon fat is healthier than butter, because butter is a dairy product. Okay. So while that's doing that, let's clean those dishes over here real quick. Get this going. That's just my opinion, of course. You guys could beg to differ. Snoop was saying I should use butter. Might taste better. Now, that might be the case. I don't know if it'll taste better. I personally believe that dairy isn't good for you. Even though, okay, caveat. I ate cheese yesterday. Okay, so given that, there you go. So I'm not like this nutball. But I just kind of feel like, you know, a little bacon grease, nothing wrong with that. Pretty sure that's how most of us got here. On bacon grease, you know? So, okay, so back to here. Back to the bacon grease. Turn on the fan. Hold on. Hold on. It's a fan. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Joy is probably ready for her burgers. So I'm getting her burgers ready right now. And honestly, I kind of think the bacon fat makes it taste pretty good. It might be the secret to my burgers. Oh my God, looks amazing, says Donna Hamilton. Thanks, Donna Hamilton. I think she was talking about a short of some food I made. But yeah. Oh, I should do this, the paper towels, not soap. Oh, you're probably right. You know, I forget all these damn rules. Okay. Tell you what, I'll dry it off right now with my paper towels. All dried off. Okay, now again, remember? Do you guys remember the story behind this thing? This spatula my parents had when they got married. And I remember this as a little kid. Like, this was around before me. And there was a set. There was a tool that you could use to sharpen a knife, and there was a knife and a fork and the whole thing with this thing. Those are all gone, but this spatula made it. I don't think they make spatulas like this anymore. Do you? Maybe they do. Okay. So let's move the spatula over. Got a big old T-bone. I don't know where this is going to fit though. Man, I might have to just wait. I don't think I can get this in there. What do you think? Shit. It's way too big. You think it's going to fit? I can try. Oh, man. Okay. I got it to fit, barely. I had to stuff it in there. And it's pushing the back here. But that's okay. Is that all right? All right. This way it just kind of gets all the food cooking at once. Was there any party fouls on that one? Cast iron takes forever. Hey, what's up, Yolanda? I become more protein eater through healthy family pork. Hey, Dan, right on. Yeah, me too. I mean, is that a porterhouse? I think it's just a T-bone, honestly. Just a really big T-bone. But I got it to fit. That's what I'm excited about. Okay. While that's cooking over there, cast iron, yeah, it's a lot easier cooking on the on aluminum, because aluminum heats so much faster. You know, it's much more control. Iron takes forever to work with, but yeah, I definitely hear what you're saying. Thanks, Danny. Hi. Pans made out of cast iron. Yeah, they're black and heavy. Whew. Hi, White Dove. Hi, everybody. I'm going to turn the heat down. Hold on. La, 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 la. I got kind of I'm working with a small space here, so. Hey, I think Joy did pretty good on her stream today, you guys. All right. Okay, this area right here is going to be a little bit flappy, but that's okay. Looks like I can squeeze it around. Oh, look at that. I got it in there. Okay, great. Awesome. Bam. Yeah, get it all. What's with the hair today? Shit. Damn it. I really got to use a mirror before I come on the stream. Damn it. Okay. Those are looking pretty good. Let me just get a little serving tray. I'm gonna wait on mine. I'm gonna eat mine later. We are cooking with gas. Let's read the comments today. Oh, good, no comments. Oh, wait. Oh, here come it. I love it. Say aluminium. Should it be aluminium? You say tinfoil. How do you say Rin Tin Tin? Artello. Chief Richard. These nuts. Tinfoil. Right on, you guys. Okay, cool. All right. Okay. I feel it needs a few more. I can just feel it. I just feel it. Oh. Seawag. Hola, amigo. ¿Cómo estás? Qué bien. Seawag, sabas español. Check out. Hey, Miss MS and Miss MMS. Nice to see you.